that's the case, then how do I,
Literally just because it's an 05.
how do I
I put my entire life
do?
on insurance.
All right, Seth, look at the problem. We'll do it up here.
Okay.
13. 13 on the homework. Look at it and help me out. Patrick obtains an installment loan of $6,400 to buy a professional digital camera and lenses. The APR is 12%. The loan is to be repaid in 36 monthly payments. What is the finance charge? Second here. So they just want the finance charge this time. Somebody help me out. What was the formula? So I don't have to look back over here. And plus I can't read it.
Oh. So the.
So first we take selling price minus down payment, but this time there was no down payment, right?
Yeah.
So we didn't have to worry about that. Then the second formula was amount of loan
Yeah.
divided by 100 times the number from the chart, correct?
Yeah.
This time on 13, how much was the loan? 6,400. Have your calculators out. Divide that by 100. Oh, we gotta get the number from the chart.
I got you.
Sorry, I lied to you. We are gonna need the chart for this.
3.32.
3.32.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll get you one here in a second. Well, here. I got one here somewhere. I'll just give you mine. Ignore the numbers at the bottom. It's the bottom chart. So they said, so Aiden on that, it was 36 months and 12%. So you just go over to 12% down to 36 months. And hopefully Seth didn't lie to us, and it's that number, 3.32. So on your calculators, do that, 6,400 divided by 100 times the 3.32, what do we get?
212.48.
Now that's not the answer they wanted this time. This is your monthly payment. That's how much you're gonna pay each month.
That'd be for me, right?
Well, this one only had one answer. They just wanted the finance charge, so this one they didn't want all the separate
Now you
answers.
times that one by 36.
Now we take this, we multiply it times 36, that's how many payments that we're gonna make, so each payment times the number of payments. Somebody do that for me.
$7,642.
I got $7,649.28.
Unheard of.
So what is it?
$7,646.
We got three different answers now.
Yeah.
What is it? 212.48 times 36.
Oh, I thought it was 0.28.
And I didn't write something wrong, did I?
7,649.
0.8.
28. So 6, 4, 9, 4, 8. 2, 8. Too early for this Ebersole.
2.8.
There we go.
So now is that our answer?
No.
No, that's how much total we are paying back to them. To get our answer, and I'm gonna move up here so I don't have to try to write in this little space.
480.
To get our answer, the amount financed, quit drawing, Seth, and focus. To get our answer, we take that answer, 764928, and we subtract off the amount of the loan, $6,400. That's gonna tell us how much extra we're paying this camera company or whatever it is for them allowing us not to pay it all at once.
$1,249.28.
Say it one more time.
$1,249.29.
So this is the finance charge, and that's what they ask us for this time.
So that's it.
That's the answer number 13.
Shoosh.
Does it make sense that we're gonna pay them back an extra $1,250?
Yeah.
Yeah, if we borrow $6,400 from them for 36 months, which is 3 years,
That's pretty good.
probably $1,200, $1,250. Now the bad thing, if you notice this, do this for me. Take $1,250
Divided by 36.
and divide it by 6,400.
20 cents.
0.20. That means what you're doing, what you're paying them, is an extra 20% of the actual cost of the camera. And with something like a camera, if you do it for 3 years, it's probably outdated by the time you get it paid off.
Well, you make money in that.
Same thing with the computers, phones, all that stuff. Take out a loan for 3 years to pay off your iPhone, $1,000 iPhone or whatever. I don't know how much they cost because I never had anything
Not
like
cheap.
that.
$1,400.
Huh?
That's about right.
Is it? So you take out a loan to pay that off, and you wait 2 years to get it paid off. And all of a sudden it's outdated and you're paying on something that's,
That's where they get you. Because then they'll start putting bugs in your phone, so you have to buy a new one. Dish got sued like 2 years ago for doing that.
I think my wife just said something to me because we just got a new internet little box, whatever. They said, oh, your old box won't work anymore, so we're gonna send you a new one and hook it up. Well, the new one doesn't work. Well, what she's saying is that we've had it for several years now, and we're only paying a small amount. Everybody else is paying like $130 a month, and we're paying like $70 a month because we've been on their plan so long.
Get your bill up.
So she's saying that they're wanting to make us get the new stuff so that we have to start paying the higher price.
Pretty much.
That's
Just like the phone.
Very
That
possible.
works good on your phone for a little while until you have it good.
All right, monthly payment allocation. What allocation means is what that money goes to. When you're making a payment, and the stuff we do today, it doesn't look real bad, but if you're doing it on a car loan or a house loan, then you'll start to see that, I told you guys my son just bought a house. When he makes that first house payment this month, and I don't know, we figured up what was it gonna be, like $1,200 or something, that what we thought it was gonna be about? $1,200, so he makes that house payment for $1,200. And I said, what'd I tell you guys, 210,000, is that what I said?
215.
215?
I think.
You're probably right. So 215,000, he makes that first payment, $1,200. And if I subtract this, do you think he just owes the bank $213 or $213,800 now?
Nope.
Most of this $1,200 on that first payment
Don't mean nothing.
is going to go to interest.
Yeah, interest for the.
So what happens, and it used to be, I still remember, and this is back a long time ago, when I was growing up, my mom and dad, the bank in West Manchester there was a little bitty bank. I mean, it's still not a huge bank, but It was a little bitty bank, and they got their house loan through that bank. And that bank gave them a bank book. And it just looked something like one of your, thought I had one up here, somebody must have took it. Looked like one of those little books that you use in English class, whatever they're called. I don't know.
A notebook?
And it's like a notebook, but it's got a special name. I'll think of it here in a minute. But it was just a little book, and in that little book, it had printed on all the pages the payments.
A graph, like a graph thing?
And it's
Like where you write numbers in the boxes?
it's one of those ones they use in English class. What's the?
I don't know.
It's just a notepad, but it's got a special name. It's like usually a black cover. Something like this.
Oh,
It's something like that.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
A journal?
I haven't used it.
Like a journal.
Yeah, a journal.
All right. The journal's what the English people or the other people call it, but it's got a actual name on the front of it. I don't know. It doesn't
I
matter.
know what you're talking about, I just can't
Yeah.
think of the name.
I'll find one here in a second. I'll show it to you, and then I'll remember the name. But they had a book like that, and that book, what the bank had done is printed January 1st payment, January 2nd, or not January 2nd, February 1st payment. And in that, it told exactly how much they owed still to the loan, how much they were paying to interest, how much, so on, so on, so on, for the whole breakdown of the entire loan. And when you look at this, what's gonna happen here with my son, if he all of a sudden, let's say he hits the lottery tonight, and he wants to pay off his house, he's not, after that first payment, you know, he made a $1,200 payment and he thinks he only owes them $213,800. That's not the case. Most of this $1,200, probably about $700 or $800 of it, goes to interest. So that means on the loan itself, if it was $800 went to interest, he only paid about $400 towards the loan. All right? And the other thing with something like this, if he did go in there, if he did win the lottery and he went in and just paid it off today, they would charge him some kind of fee for early payment, for paying it off early. And that doesn't seem fair. You think, well, if I got the money, why? No, they charge you a big fee. And it's not just something small. It's not like $50 or something. If you're making a big payment like that, paying that whole $213, they're probably gonna charge you about $10,000. Because they did all this paperwork and everything for that loan, they want some of their money that they should have made over the life of the loan.
You could pay extra like $2,000 a month.
Right. And that's the other thing, when I told you guys that you could pay extra on this, and when it gets to the end and you pay it off early, then there's still gonna be some kind of fee or sort of a fine for paying it off early, but,
It's really stupid.
yeah.
Sounds greedy.
That's all this world is.
It's a business. Repayment schedule shows the distribution of interest and principal over the life of the loan. Now, if it's just if it's not a house loan or a car loan, and we'll do some of these problems, you know, if you borrow $500 from something and you're paying it back, your first payment, let's say, is $100. That's your first payment. Probably about $8 or $10 is going to go towards interest, and then $92 is going to go towards the actual loan amount, and that's the way it drops down. And as you go through the loan, so if $8 this time goes towards interest, the next time probably $7 or $6 will go to the interest. Next time $5 towards the interest. So they're making less and less money off of you as the loan gets smaller.
Heck, I'll just bring in that extra $8 and see towards the interest.
And that's the other thing I wanted to say with this. If you're doing this, if you're paying off early, like Dylan was saying, you've got to make sure that you tell them, I want this put towards the loan itself. not just sitting there, because, we did that for a while, and what the bank would do, and they screwed up our account completely.
There'd interest you
They-
on that money.
They would take, so my wife was putting like an extra $50 each month. They would take that $50 and they would just keep it in an account and save it for the next payment or the next payment. And so the one year when she was paying extra $50 every month, we ended up at the end of the year and we had like $2,000 in this account, and they're going, well, you got extra money here and we don't know why. Well, you have to tell them you want that put towards the principal of your loan. You can't just assume that they're gonna know that. You gotta tell them, hey, put this extra $50 towards the principal, so it pays it down quicker. Otherwise, they just keep it in an account and screw
What do they
everything
do with the
away.
money?
It just sits there. Well, they probably make money off of it somehow.
I'm sure they get interest off of it.
Yeah, somewhere. They use it, loan it to Dylan.
Don't expect that money back.
Do what?
Don't expect that $50
I'll just go.
But Dylan's got all kinds of money.
I'll go borrow a bunch of money and then just go bankrupt. And that's it.
That always works out well.
It does, don't have nothing in your hands. Exactly. I'll just let my dad.
Those three formulas, make sure the top one, principal times rate, times time, that's simple interest. We've been doing that forever. We're gonna use it a bunch today. Are you looking for? That one that I was talking about. Yeah, see, I got a crappy one, but
Yeah,
what's this called?
there ain't nothing special about it.
Yeah, it's got some special name.
Compose.
College?
It's a composition.
Composition.
There
Composition.
you go.
You know what I'm talking about, them ones Miss Brown has? Like it has the lines in there and the boxes and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's just graphing stuff.
Yeah, but could you
Oh,
use that?
you're talking about like an account book.
Yeah, could you use one of them? Well, kinda like tax book, you write your receipts and stuff in on a tax book. Like a farm book?
Dylan's been
Oh
doing
my-
taxes for 13 years.
No, I'd watch Dad and Grandma do it.
Stuff that we're gonna do today, same idea here. Each problem, you're gonna have to do this first. Same idea as last time. You're gonna have to do this first, find the interest. Payment to the principal, that's your monthly payment minus the interest, so that's how much of your monthly payment is going towards the actual loan. And then the new principal, you take the previous principal minus the payment. Notice each time here, interest, we need that number, we find this, so we can stick it into that. Then we find the payment to principal, so that we can stick it in right there to find the new principal. So we're just going down through. We're just going down through, and you got a column like this, and you're finding the interest. How much are we paying to interest? Pay to interest. Then, how much is going towards the loan? Pay to principal. No, pay, that doesn't mean you're giving it to Mr. Eiler. That's a different kind of principal, right? Seth probably didn't know that. You might have to help him out. And then your new balance on your, what you owe them. And you just continue over and over and over again. The assignments on page 318, 5 through 15, guaranteed we can get this done together.
Could you go back a little bit?
Yep, which one? You wanna go to the formulas?
Yeah, Formula, I'm almost done.
That one, sorry.
Five,
I'm at the
5
last
through
one.
15.
318, 5 through 15.
Amen. So, alright, go ahead.
Watch your mouth, Kylie.
Did you say something bad?
You don't need to say that word.
Alright, you can change the slide, I got it.
I can't sit because I'm way back here.
Should I sit that?
I never cuss, so I don't just come.
That's a lot of years.
I never cuss, I'm passing all my classes.
Yeah.
Passing all my classes, actually.
No, he said if you don't pass, he passes all his classes, like kinda like if you said, oh, well, if you have good grades, I'm dating Beyonce.
It's a simile.
Can you go back one real quick?
Oh, that's definitely important. It's probably on my notebook.
She's on my celebrity crush.
Yes, you do. Don't lie.
Now, you guys were talking about, and we'll start working this assignment here in a second. You guys were talking about tests. We will probably have a test. Might be next week.
Actually, you should make it next class.
Yeah, you
We still got a couple of sections to cover. So it may be next week. Not gonna be an easy test because
This is kinda easy stuff.
it's not hard stuff, but you gotta follow the pattern every single time. So just like on those last problems, when we were doing problem 13, Seth was struggling with it because it didn't follow the same pattern as the previous problem because all they wanted was the interest. So when they switch up the problem just a little bit on you, then it makes it a little tougher. Books out, calculators out. I don't know, I'm starting to think that maybe we shouldn't do these together.
Why?
Because if everybody's not gonna actually do it, if they're gonna write down the answers, then it bothers me.
Let's do it.
Well, make them talk.
Make them talk, so call them,
I mean,
call an alley,
Go
Like,
around.
how many problems are there?
make everybody do a problem.
Hey, Eddie.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, we probably got enough problems, we could add on a couple.
Or we do it where, like, whoever says the last one has to pick somebody else.
Yeah, just do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do that, you should.
Yeah.
Instead
They're the
of
only
you
one
calling
allowed to help you.
somebody.
Yeah, you should make them do that. And then Adam will go first and then.
So Allie's shaking her head no. If I don't call on everybody, you're promising me that you're actually gonna be paying attention and using your calculator and stuff.
Yeah, the calculator aren't found on the keyboard. That's
You promise me? See, I'm not listening to him.
She's lying, that's her case.
I know, that's,
Let's just go around the room, one person each. We don't have very much time.
I've been here 2 days.
I think Aiden knocks out too.
Not because I want to, it's because I really can't.
hey, can you do, this is new stuff, it
I
ain't.
can do that.
Hey, what was
I just learned that today.
So did everybody else.
I missed the last 2 days.
That's got nothing to do with
Your fault,
today.
it does. I have no previous conversation.
Are we ready? Now, the bad thing with doing it this way, again, when we take this test, I started to say this a second ago, when we take this test next week,
5.
could be really, really ugly when I go to grade them.
Oh, 5 equals
That worries me.
5.
All right?
Mr. Ebersole, 5.
So number, we're starting, hold on, I'm on the wrong page. Number 5,
Page 318.
318, page 318. Everybody got those 3 formulas down so I don't have to keep going back to them, right? Page 318, number 5. Notice these, the columns, they say the loan balance, interest rate, monthly payment, amount of interest, amount for interest, amount for principal, and then the new principal. So we're just going down using those 3 formulas. On the first one though, we don't use all 3 of them. We just use the last one. And it says amount for principal. How much money did they put, or did their payment go, how much of their payment went towards the principal? How much of the money, look, how much of the money went towards the principal?
The amount?
Yep.
$94.56.
So what was the original principal? What was the original amount of the loan? $1,200. So on number 5, all we're gonna do is that last one. the amount of the principal minus how much went towards the principal?
94.56.
What's that give you?
$1,105.44.
44 cents?
Yep.
I voted on
So how much do they still owe on the loan? That much. And again, on most of all these, as we go through them, and it's been this way through the whole book, they like lead you through by the hand, all right? This is finding the very last thing, then they're gonna add something else to it for the next problem, then add something else to it for the next problem, so on, so on, so on. Anybody confused about that one?
No.
See where you got it all from the chart? Yes? Next one. This time they borrowed how much money? How much was the loan?
3,460.
We'll say it again.
3,460.
3,460. The interest was 10%. Their monthly payment is $207.95. The amount to interest. The way we find that, actually they added two things on this time. Switch back on me. It's wrong thing. The amount to interest, this is what you're going to do on part A. Interest. I equals P times R times T. How much principal do they have?
3,400. What?
3,460 times, what was the interest rate?
10%.
So, what is it?
0.010.
0.10 times, now here's where you gotta be careful. The time, the amount of time that we're doing here, we're just doing one monthly payment. Remember, time's always gotta be in terms of years. So one monthly payment is just one out of what? 12. We've done this earlier this year, so it's just 1 over 12. When you put this on your calculator, the easiest way to do it, this times that, hit equals, and then hit divided by 12. So this number times that number, hit equals, then divide it by 12. And we're going to do that same thing for most of every one of these problems. What's it come out to be? Remember, we got money, so we want to round it off two places, right?
$28.83.
Anybody else get that? Allie, is that what your calculator told you? Don't make me start calling on you because you lied to me already.
I mean, that's what my
You
calculator
should just
says.
make her do it.
I'm gonna start. That's,
Yeah.
here, if I don't see her pick up her calculator, I don't know, I guess she thinks I can't see that far or
Maybe she don't
something.
know how to use one, go back there and help her.
I know the calculator's right there, I wanna see you touch it.
It's getting cold.
Ebersole, can we divide by 12?
Yep.
Okay.
This number is the amount paid towards the interest, or paid to interest. And I'm not gonna write this down every time, I'm just trying to, on these first couple of problems, showing you all the way through, all right? So, of their payment, $28.83 is gonna just go towards interest. Part B,
Every month.
for that first month, because then it's gonna change the next month, and the next month, and the next month.
Cause it's compound.
Alright, so, for part B, they wanna know how much they're paying towards the actual loan, towards the principal. Well, the way we do that is, how much is their payment each month? $207.95?
Yeah.
So you add that from
How-
28.
How much of this payment is gonna go towards interest?
28.83.
So what do we do with those two?
Just subtract it.
Subtract it. So $28.83 of the $207.95 goes towards the interest. Whatever's left goes towards the actual loan, the principal. What's that?
$179.12.
$179.12? Is that what your calculator told you, Ally? So if I walk back here and I look at it, it's gonna say $179.12 on it?
Already cleared it.
She actually looked at it like it's on there, so. Alright. This is what, of their monthly payment, this is the amount of their monthly payment that was paid to the principal.
Now we need the new principal, so you add that.
You had it?
Well, I don't know.
The new principal, how much was the original principal? 3460. That was the original loan. How much have they actually paid towards that principal? $179.12. What are you gonna do with that? Subtract them to get how much they still owe on the loan. $3,280.88. This is what they still owe after the first month's payment. So again, just going down through this, and we're gonna do this on like every problem on the entire thing. First thing you're doing is finding the amount of interest for that month. Next thing you're doing is taking that interest away from your monthly payment to see how much you're paying towards the principal. Then once you know how much you paid towards the principal, you're figuring out how much you still owe on the entire principal. So everybody got that much, so we can go on? Seven next, is that right? On number 7, part A, interest. What's the principal?
7,200.
Times, what's our interest rate?
9%.
So what am I gonna write?
0.09.
0.09, good. And this is for 1 month, so what's our time? 1 out of 12. Again, when you do that, multiply these two, then divide by 12. $54 even?
That's what I got.
Anybody else get that? So what's $54? That's the amount of interest for that 1 month. So that $54 is what this loan company, whatever this company is making off of Aiden for that month. All right, so they're making $54. You're making a payment to them, and they're taking $54, putting it in their pocket, and then the rest of it's going towards what you owe. Part B, how much was their monthly payment?
Oh, 329.04.
$329.40, is that right? 04. 04. All right, so that's their monthly payment every month. You know, when I said that my folks had that payment book, the first thing in the column for each month was exactly the same. Now theirs is nice, because when I looked at it, their monthly payment for their house was like $49.37.
That's back in 1950. Not when you were born.
So all the way down that first column, it said that same thing, $49 and some odd cents. And when the first time when I was old enough, that I looked at it and I thought, my goodness, wish I had a $49 house payment. We take that, that's the amount, we subtract off the 54. What's that leave you with?
$275.04.
Now, what's $275.04?
The payment towards the principal.
That's going towards the principal. For the principal. So are they still gonna owe them $7,200? No. How much are they gonna owe them now? How are we gonna figure it out?
That-
7,200
And then you subtract.
Minus the 275
minus is 275.04.
$6,124.46.
96 cents?
Yeah.
Anybody else get that? So it makes sense, they still, after the first payment, they still owe them $6,900 and some dollars? Yeah. Again, when you're making payments to some company, some bank, whatever it is, just to try to, and I'm probably over explaining this, but it's like there's two buckets. Alright? One of the buckets is where they keep all the money for the loans. The other bucket is their profit. So what's happening here, every time you make a payment, every time you make that $329.04 payment, some of the money goes in there for the loan, and some of it goes in their pocket for their profit.
So like 95% for your loan and 25 for your.
On little loans like this, that's the way it is. Now, again, when you get a bigger loan like a house loan, it starts off where a whole bunch of the money right at the beginning is going just towards paying off interest.
Why
So,
would you pay interest in the beginning?
because what they want, if they have the Dillons of the world, and he's got all this money and they know it, and they think, you know what, at some point Dylan's gonna get tired of paying us money and he's just gonna come in and pay this off. So before he thinks to do that, let's take a whole bunch of our payment from him early. And then as he gets tired of paying us after, 10 years or whatever, he says, screw this place, I'm sick of them. Then we're not making as much interest off of him anyway, so, because we took all of it up front.
Or if you go bankrupt or
So
something.
basically, what you're saying is they're just trying to get rid of you with it. Interest.
No. They're just trying to make money, and that's what all businesses do. It's just normal. When you go out and you work a job set, what are you trying to do?
Survive.
Is that what it is?
That makes $10 off of a $20 bill.
They need money to survive, so.
Already $30.
Okay, I mean, everything, you can't have anything without money.
Number 8.
This one's the new
Eight
principal.
is.
So on this, if we're looking at that chart, before we start doing problem 8, because problem 8 starts like halfway down the chart, right? So this is exactly, I was telling you that my folks had that book. This is exactly what that book looked like. It's like that chart. And Dylan, you're probably right. The pages in there didn't look like the composition book, but they had the columns like you'd see in Mr. Wendel's class or something. So the first one, payment number 1. How much is their monthly payment? $213.12. What do you notice about it all the way down through there? It's the same. The monthly payment every time is the same. The second column, amount that goes towards the interest. How much the first month did they pay towards the interest? $24. How about the second month? Third month? What are you noticing about that?
It's going down.
So when we get down here to number 14, should our answer be like $20?
No.
No, it should be a small amount. The next column, amount for principal. How much of their first payment went towards principal? $189.12. And then the new principal we get by subtracting the original principal. What was the original principal? Anybody find that on there?
Original principal, you said 2,400?
2,400, says it up top, doesn't it? Along with the percentage and for how many months they're taking the loan out. So the original principal was $2,400. They paid $189.12 towards the principal. So now they're left with $2,210.88. That if they walked into the bank, they should be able to pay it off with that money. But again, there's probably going to be a fee if you pay it off early. Going all the way down. Number 8. On number 8, they just want they just want the new principal. How did we find the new principal?
The overruns, 1,435.
Even?
Yeah. No, 30 cents.
30 cents?
Yeah.
Where did Adam get this number from? Make sure you're looking on there so you can find it.
Yes, that's here.
The last new principal.
That was the last new principal. So each time, when we get the new principal, we're gonna have to carry it down so that we can do the rest of the stuff on each problem after that. Alright? So that's the last principal that they had before they made another payment. How much of the payment this time went towards the principal?
198.77.
Does everybody see where Adam got that 198.77 from? That's the column right before there, right? 198.77 is the amount that you're paying towards the principal, and all we're doing here is subtracting those two.
1,236.53.
So how much do they still owe?
That much.
That much.
So 9.
Now, number 9 says, this time they want the amount for principal and the new principal. So we gotta figure out how much of it is going towards the principal and then find the new principal. So for part A, we're just doing the two formulas that we were doing on the first ones.
213, right?
So $213 and what was the payment?
12 cents.
12 cents. How much went towards interest?
1237.
$1237?
That's what you're taking off, right?
37 cents.
Is that the amount that went towards the interest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amount for interest.
And what are we gonna do with those two?
Subtract.
Subtract them, and that's gonna tell us the amount that is being put towards the actual loan, the principal.
$200.75.
$200.75?
Yes.
So that's the answer to part A on that one.
And then you do, your 8, your number 8.
Yeah, slow down for a second, Dylan.
Believe me, I'm not all day.
Once we have that, now we're going back to what we did up here in number 8. And we're just taking this number, the new principal that we wrote for number 8, 1236.53, and what are we doing, Dylan? Now you can tell me.
Minus the 275 cents.
Minus that answer that we just got right there.
That gave us the $1,035.78.
What's $1,035.78?
The new principal they still owe.
That's the new principal, that's how much they still owe.
After the 9 still.
Number 10. This time they want us to figure out all three things, right? So now we're going back to what we did on the other page. I might run out of space here. We might have to finagle something around.
213.
So, interest. How much do they still owe?
1,035.
That's our principal. So 1035.78 times, what's the rate?
12% would be.
Point 12. And we're doing it for 1 month, right? So what's our time? 1/12. Somebody do all that for us.
$10.36.
Man, you're fast.
Anybody get $10.36? Is that what it is?
$10.35.
You said 36.
I rounded to 7.
Round it up. So $10.36. What's $10.36?
The amount that went towards interest.
All right, that's how much we're paying them for the loan this month. $10.36.
Oh, I got that because I didn't put 78 cents.
Now we're just going to do the same things that we did up here. That interest, that's this number right here, that 1237, we're gonna subtract that from their monthly payment. What's their monthly payment? $213.12, same every month, right? Minus the 1036, $10.36. What's that give us?
301, or no, hold on. I got the numbers backwards.
Say it again.
202.76.
$202.76, Anybody else get that?
Yep.
What's $202.76?
Not towards the principal.
That's the amount that they're paying towards the principal. So again, when I look at my buckets here, if this is the principal, this is their money. This month, for this certain month, how much money went into their pocket?
$10.36.
$10.36. How much went towards the loan?
$202.76.
And then part C, I don't have room to write it down there. We're putting this towards the principal. We go back to this number that we got, oops, yeah, that's the right one, that we got on number 9. That's the amount that we still owe them, $1035.78. And we're gonna do what with that?
Minus 202.76.
Minus 202.76. Somebody help us out there.
833.02.
$833.02. What's $833.02?
The new principal.
The new principal, the new balance on the loan. I'm gonna write that right here because we're gonna need that, right?
I would assume so.
So 833.02. I'm gonna write it right there so I can erase this slide. So everybody got that much? Set the crew close. Still with me, Elijah?
Yeah.
Am I getting out of the way enough so you can see? Kylie, has she touched that calculator back here at all here lately? I haven't been paying attention. I looked back here a couple times and she was actually punching it in stuff, but I'm just wondering if she's giving up on me because I haven't said anything for a while. Seth, you got that much?
Yeah, I got it.
What we on, 11?
Yes. Yep.
Now we're doing the same thing every time, right? Just going through all 3 of those steps every time. Interest. Our interest, first we need our principal, which is right here. I wrote it down, 833.02 times, what was the percentage? 0.12, and again for a month, so 1 out of 12, or 1 over 12. Again, what do you notice as you're finding these interests, as you're going down? They're getting lower and lower and lower.
I wonder why.
What's that give us?
$8.33.
833, anybody else get that?
Yep.
Part B then, we take the monthly payment. How much is our monthly payment?
$213.12.
Same every time, right? We subtract off the amount that we're paying them, the amount that they're putting in their pocket, to see how much is going towards our loan. What's that leave us with?
$204.79.
What's happened to the amount that's going towards the principal each month? It's going up. So each month we're paying them less and less interest and more towards the actual loan. Once we know that, our principal for this month was 833.02. Ignore that. And we subtract off the amount that we paid towards the principal, which is the 204.79. And what's our new balance on this loan? 0.23. So $628.23. for 12, starting off the same way. I guess I'm not even looking at the book anymore. 628.23 times what? 0.12 times 1 over 12.
Which is 6.28.
So $6.28. So this month, we're only paying them an extra $6 in interest.
And then B is 213.12, subtract 6.28. And you get 206.84. You take that number.
206.84 is the amount that we're putting towards what?
Towards the loan.
Towards the loan, towards the principal.
You take 628.23, subtract 206.84, and you get 421.39.
What's $421.39?
The amount left on the loan.
Amount that we still owe, the amount left on the loan? So you just use those three formulas that we wrote down, you're just using each one of them over and over and over again. Now again, they made it sorta, I like it when they lead us through by the hand on some of these. On these, I don't like the fact that, because if we just do the same three things over and over and over again, I think it'd be easier than this. But on some of the stuff that we've done, when they had those charts in there, and they said, okay, you add these two and you get this final answer, then you gotta find this, and they led you through. Those I like, this not so much.
Where are we getting 833.02? You take the number.
That was,
421, 38.9, and then you times it by 0.12. Yeah, and then you divide that by 12. Yeah, that gives you 4.
which one you,
I'm down here on 14.
oh, you're on, so you're way ahead of me.
Yeah.
Has everybody got that much? What number do, somebody remember, what's our number that we're gonna start with on the next one?
421.39.
421.39, so let's make sure that we remember that. What number are we on? 13?
So,
Interest equals, what'd you say it was?
421.39.
Times the rate
0.12.
times 1/12,
Yeah, then that's 421.
$4.21.
Yeah. And then you take that.
Slow down, slow down.
You take
Make my beat here.
213.12.
213.12, our monthly payment.
And then you subtract 424.21.
Subtract off 421, the amount that's going in their profits. What's that give us?
208.91.
Say it again.
208.91.
208.91. What's $208.91?
The amount towards the principal.
That's how much we're actually paying towards the principal of the loan. Then we go back, we take this number, that's the principal that we still owe as of, this month, right? 421.39.
Subtract the 208.91.
Subtract off the amount that we're paying towards the loan.
You get 212.48.
212.48.
Yep.
Now, just looking at this, before I go on to number 14, if we still owe them $212.48, how much is our monthly payment?
That'd be the same. because of the
212.48.
How much is our monthly payment?
213.12.
213.12. So it looks like in the next month we should be able to do what?
Pay it off.
Pay it off. All right. Now the way they set it up, and they set it up, like I said, they give you that, could give you that little book. They don't do it anymore because it's all electronic. But if they give you that little book and it says all the payments all the way down through there, they set it up so that every monthly payment's the same, and when it gets down at the end, your balance ends up being 0. Alright, so let's see on 14 if that works out this time. 212, our interest, we're gonna use the 212.48 times what again?
0.12.
Times
1 over 12.
1 over 12, 112.
That equals, $2.13. After you run it around
It should be just 212.
It's just 212.
Yeah, the 4 will round up.
So if it's 212 or 213, we'll see as we go down through here. Different companies will do different things. For Part B, our monthly payment is 213.12 minus, how much are we paying towards interest this time?
$2.12.
Somebody subtract that for us.
211.
$211 even? So what's $211?
How much actually goes towards it?
That's how much actually going towards the loan. What was our balance starting this month?
212.8 or 212.48.
Minus the 211 that we put towards it. What's our new balance?
$1.48.
$1.48. So did they work it out to where we paid it off that last payment?
No, but 15 here we can have it.
No, we still owe them $1.48, right?
Wait, what about D?
Huh?
D?
That's, oops, I put them in the wrong thing, didn't I?
Oh, well, we fixed it.
Sorry. This is A, the 212.48's A, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's A.
212, be 213. You bid.
Oh yeah, it is 213, I'm sorry. This is A, it just asks for the payment, doesn't it? 213.12, it's the same every time. This number is B,
212. That's B.
this is
C.
C, and this answer is D. D, sorry, I should have read the book better. I didn't pay attention.
I figured they'd get the point, figured
These are wrong.
out. Alright.
I didn't realize that they asked us for that last one.
15.
So 15, what's, somebody read 15 to us?
Complete the last line in the preceding repayment schedule and adjust the 12th payment, which is the last, to make the balance, principal balance 0.
So our normal payment was $213.12, I think, right?
Yeah. We just.
We want to make sure that we pay it off on that last payment. What do we,
Can we just add that 148?
so just add 148 to it. And what should our last payment be?
So A is
214.60.
So that's part A.
B.
B's where we're finding the interest, right? What was our principal? Previous principal? 212.48, is that right?
Yeah.
212.48 times, ignore that, 0.12 times 112, what's that give us?
212.
C, we take the 213.12 minus the 212.
No, it's the 214.60.
Oh, 214.60, sorry, my fault. 214.60 this time because we changed the last payment, didn't we? 214.60 minus the 212.
$212.48.
D, we take the amount of our original principal for this month, which was $212.48, and we subtract off, how much are we paying towards the principal? $212.48, and how much do we still owe on this? $0.
This year, I'm gonna have 1,100 plus that. This year, Ebersole, that would make, it makes sense, but no. You know, you got $1.48 left over, you gotta pay. Why could you not do? You gotta pay him $1.48.
Well, that is sort of what we did, wasn't it? What did we do to that last payment? We just added on a $1.48.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean,
Some of the times,
it's kind of confusing.
yeah. Some of the times, when you have like a house loan, some of the time, that last payment, and you gotta be really, really careful of this, that last payment will be what's called a balloon payment. And if you don't have a whole, like this one's only $1.48, so it wasn't a big deal. But if you don't have a whole nother payment, let's say if your payment's $1,200 a month, and it gets down to the last month and you only really owe like $500, well, that last payment, they might make it instead of $1,200, $1,700. They'll just add that money in there.
Oh.
Well,
So you don't have to pay another.
right, so you don't have to make another payment, and that's called a balloon payment. You gotta be careful when you're taking out loans if you have a balloon payment, because like me, I don't know that I have $500 extra a month to make towards that payment every month. So then all of a sudden, you know, you have a balloon payment, and some loan companies, it's not just $500. It might be like double or triple. They might say, all right, this last payment, we're just gonna make it $3,000. And if you don't pay attention to what you're signing and what the contract is that you're dealing with, all of a sudden that last payment, you paid off almost the entire house, and they're coming in saying, you can't make this payment, we're gonna foreclose on you. Car payments are really, really bad about that. You pay on a car, maybe pay for 3 years, then the last payment's all of a sudden $4,000 or something. And Peyton goes, I ain't got $4,000 to pay on this car. Well, then guess what they do with the car? They come and get it, and you paid them all that money for it, and then they take it, now it's their car, and they can resell it and make more money off of it. So you gotta watch out if it has a balloon payment at the end, it could be not good.
It sounds like a scam to me.
Well, it sorta is, but
Like a legal
legal.
scam.
Yeah.
I got it this way.
How's that legal?
I wanna have
Just
this.
this.
I trust you, you don't have to get it out.
Yeah, goodness. Figure out front
Put my
facing.
stuff around, figure out where I'm at.
And plus, I figured I was.
Ah.
I gotta work on the character's expressions a lot better. Face structure. A little bit better when they face front. I mean, have you, every time you see the cartoon
It
character
looks absolutely a
face
figure.
front a camera?